students, welcome to my channel The Science World, and if you find this video useful for you, then please like, comment and share with your friends. Also subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get notification of my upcoming videos. Students, in our last video we have discussed about the soil and soil formation and the agents, or we can say natural agents or natural forces that are responsible for the soil formation. Okay, in this video we are going to read about the soil profile, types of soil and properties of soil. So let's start. We will start with a small activity, and this activity is for what? To know that what is the composition of the soil or what soil contains. Okay, we know that soil consists of many things. It provides living place for many organisms, and there are many different types of soil. These different types of soil differ in color, texture and as well as in their contents. Okay, so let us find out the various things that are present in the soil. What you will need for this activity? You will need a beaker. This beaker is there. Okay, this beaker you will need, or you can take a glass also. Okay, then you will need some soil, water and a spoon. Then what will be the procedure? First, you fill the large beaker or glass with water until it is 3/4 full. You have to fill it up to here, means 3/4 of the part you fill with water. Then add some soil that you have collected from your garden or in your neighborhood. Then stir it for 1 to 2 minutes with the spoon. You have to stir it with the spoon and then leave it for half an hour as it is. Okay, let it settle down. Then what you will observe? The soil particles settle down according to their size. Here you can see the particles that are at the bottom, they are the particles of larger size. That means they are the gravel. Okay, so this gravel, they will settle first at the bottom as they are heavy. Okay, so they will settle at first at the bottom. Then sand will settle down, then silt and then clay. Then humus or decaying organic matter that is present in the soil, it will flow on the upper layer or upper surface of the water. Thus we can say that more or less distinct layer of soil are separated. These you can see different layers of soil, they are separated in the beaker, and this arrangement of different layers of soil is known as soil profile, and that is what we are going to study next. What is soil profile? So you can do this activity at your home and you will get these different types of layers. These different layers you will get in your jar or whatever pot you will take for it. Okay, so this arrangement of different layers in the soil, it is known as soil profile. Okay, so do this activity at your home. Then what is soil profile? Okay, just now we have seen the picture. What is soil profile? So if you will see a vertical section of soil up to 2 meter or up to parent rock, it shows different layers. The vertical section through the soil showing the various layers of the soil is called soil profile. What is soil profile? The vertical section through the soil showing various layers. So you can see these various layers here. So these layers of the soil, it is known as soil profile, and each layer differs in texture, color, depth and chemical composition. These all the layers. You can see the color is also different. They differ in color, they differ in the texture also. Their texture is also different. Then their depth is also different. Means these layers are not at the same place. As you go down to the earth, these layers will appear one by one. Okay, means they have on at the different depth. Then they are having different chemical composition also. Okay, so these layers are known as the soil profile, and soil is generally arranged in 3 layers, and these layers are known as horizon. They are known as horizon: A horizon, B horizon and C horizon. Okay, so we will study one by one. So first layer is A horizon. The uppermost layer of the soil is called A horizon, this one, and it is usually dark in color and it contains very fine particle of rocks. And this is the layer which is known which is covered with the topsoil. This layer is covered with the topsoil. It is rich in humus which makes the soil fertile. This layer is rich in humus. Plants get essential nutrients from this layer of the soil, and the soil in this layer is very soft. It is porous, means it has air inside the gaps, and it can hold more water as it is porous. This layer is also known as topsoil, and the topsoil provides home for many living organisms such as worms, rodents, beetles and moles, as we have seen in the last video. It is the home for many organisms. Then we will come to the next layer, that is B horizon. This layer is just under the top layer, that is horizon A, and it is known as horizon B. This is also known as subsoil. This layer is also known as subsoil. This layer is slightly harder than this one. This is slightly harder than the topsoil and more compact also. It has little humus and organic matter. As we compare with the topsoil, subsoil contains less humus or organic matter. This layer is rich in soluble minerals and iron oxides and is light in color. This layer contains soluble minerals and iron oxides, and the roots of tall trees can penetrate or can go or can reach this layer. The tall trees, we can say, their roots can come to this layer here. Okay, tall trees. So this is subsoil or B horizon. Then next we have C horizon. This is the lowermost layer of the soil. Okay, and this is called C horizon. You can see the particles of the soil are bigger here. This layer lies below the subsoil. It lies below the subsoil, and this layer is made up of small pieces of hard stones and rocks which cracks and surfaces. These hard pieces of rocks are there in this layer. Okay, it is very difficult to dig beyond this layer. If you want to dig beyond this layer, after this layer, it is very difficult because under this layer lies bedrock. Okay, this bedrock is present which cannot be easily dug up. So these rocks, they are known as bedrock. So these are the different layers of the soil or different horizon of the soil, and they are different from each other in their composition, color and texture. Okay, so this is all about the soil profile. You can also see here this picture. This is the topsoil, then subsoil, then this weathered or decomposed rock or C horizon, and then the solid rock, or we can say bedrock. Okay, this is the original picture of the soil profile. Original picture of the soil profile. Here you can see the topsoil is here, then here you can see subsoil is there, then horizon C is there, and the last one is bedrock. Okay, so this is the picture of soil profile. Then we have different types of soil. Okay, soil is important abiotic component of our environment that we know, and the word soil is derived from the word solium, which means earthy material. This also we have read in the last video. Okay, and soil is the uppermost layer of the earth's crust. What we see is the surface of the soil. The top layer of the soil acts as a medium for growth of plants, that we also know, and topsoil mainly consists of three kinds of rock particles. It is mainly consists of three kinds of rock particles, and these particles also differ in their size, appearance and feel. These rock particles are of three different kinds. Okay, so there are gravels, then sand particles, silt and clay particles. Okay, so we will see first the clay. Clay particles are the smallest in size. They are very small in size. You can say smallest in the size, less than 0.002 millimeter. It is the size of the clay particle, and clay is very smooth to touch. Then silt particles are slightly bigger than the clay particles, and the silt particles are of the size from 0.002 to 0.05 millimeter mm. Okay, millimeter or mm. Then sand particles. These particles are larger than the silt particles, and this can be seen easily. These sand particles are rough to touch, their touch or their feeling, or we can say appearance, feel, it is different from silt and clay particles. Sand particles are rough to touch, and the sand particles, they are of size of 0.05 millimeter to 2 millimeter. This is the size of sand particle. In addition to these, gravels are there, and these are present in the topsoil, and they may contain the stones. And these particles of soil, they are generally above 2 millimeter in size. They are the largest particle in the soil, and clay is the smallest particle in the soil. Okay. Gravel particles are large and can be picked up by hand. Gravels we can pick up by the hand. The topsoil in any geographical area may contain one or more kinds of particles, means it can have gravels also, sand also, silt also, or it can have clay and gravel also, or it can have all the particles. It depends on the geographical area of the geographical area. Okay. The texture of the soil depends upon the relative proportion of these particles, and just now we have seen this size of these particles. So if you take a sample of soil in from different areas, different geographical areas, then you will come to know that the particles that are present in that soil, they have different proportions. Okay, means if soil is sandy, then it contains only the sand particles. If clay soil is there, then it will contain clay particles, and loamy soil contains both, that is silt, sand and clay. Okay, so this is all about the soil particles and particle size. Here you can see next picture. These are the sand particles, these are the silt particles, and these are the clay particles. According to their diameter, the size is given. Then we will start with the sandy soil. There are different types of soils, that is sandy soil, clay soil and loamy soil. So what about the sandy soil? This soil contains a large amount of sand particles. You can see here, you can observe the sand particles, and very small amount of silt and clay is present there. Sandy soil is found in deserts. We know that sandy soil is found in deserts, and it cannot hold much water. The sandy soil cannot hold much water, and it is not suited for agriculture. It is not suited for agriculture. The sand particles in sandy soil are quite large. Since large particles cannot pack themselves closely, there are large number of gaps or empty spaces between them, and these gaps or empty spaces are filled up with air. So we can call sandy soil as well aerated soil, means it has gaps, and these gaps are filled with air. Because of these empty spaces, water can drain through such soil. Water can drain through this soil easily, and therefore sandy soil is light and well aerated and dry. So sandy soil becomes dry because it cannot hold water, and it is well aerated because these gaps present in between the particles, they are filled with air. Okay, so sandy soil is light, well aerated and dry, and it is not suitable for agriculture. Then we have clay soil. You can see the texture of the soil. You can see this soil is mostly contains the clay particles. It contains clay particles and a small quantity of humus and silt. Clay particles being very small, they get closely packed, and that's why this clay soil is used for making different utensils and different statues and idols. Okay, clay soil is compact and can hold water. This soil can hold water. Clay soil cannot trap air because it has very little air spaces, or there are no gaps between the particles. So there is very little air in the clay soil. It contains many minerals which make it suitable for the growth of plants, means this soil is good for growth of plants. And the next type of soil is loamy soil. Loamy soil contains clay, silt, sand and humus in the right proportion, and that's why this soil is very good for agriculture, or we can say best soil for agriculture. Loamy soil has good water holding capacity, and that's why it is good for growth of crops also. Loamy soil is porous and which allows the aeration of roots, means roots can breathe well in this soil because it is well aerated soil, and that is why loamy soil is best suited for the growing of plants. Okay, then depending upon the chemical nature of the soil, besides these three types, that is sandy, clayey and loamy soil, soils are also grouped or also classified as acidic soil, alkaline soil or neutral soil. Acidic soil means the soil that contains more acidic substances. Alkaline soil means that soil contains more alkaline substances, and neutral soil means it is not acidic or and it is not alkaline. Okay, so most fertile farmlands are consist of neutral soil, or we can say neutral soil is good for agriculture. If the soil is acidic or alkaline, then it has to be treated for the use, that is for agriculture. Okay, then next we have properties of the soil. What are the properties? The first one is the texture. The texture of the soil depends on the relative proportion of sand, silt and clay particles that are present in the soil. Sandy soil has a fritty structure. Fritty means it will not remain in your hand. Okay, it will flow down if you will hold it in your hand. So it has fritty structure. Then loamy soil crumbles when rubbed between the fingers. It get crumbled, loamy soil. And clay soil makes a shiny coating on the fingers. If you hold the clay soil in your hand, it will make a shiny coating on your fingers. So this is the texture of different types of soils. Clay soil can be molded into different shapes, and hence it can be used for making pots, idols and statues. Okay, just now we have discussed in the type, that is clay soil. So the texture of the soil, it depends on the proportion of sand, silt and clay particles. Okay, the next property is percolation rate of water, or we can say porosity. This property is also known as porosity. Then many species are present among the soil particles that we know. These spaces or gaps are present among the soil particles, and these gaps or these spaces, they allow water to percolate through it. Then the percolation rate can be calculated by the following formula. If you want to find out the percolation rate of the soil, then there is one activity that we will I will explain you next, and we can calculate it by the formula, that is amount of water percolated in millimeters. Here in millimeters, it is divided by the percolation time in minutes. Okay, this is the formula for calculating the percolation rate of water. One example is given here. See, if or when the 200 ml of water is poured over a soil sample, 150 ml of water percolates through this soil sample within 15 minutes. So calculate the percolation rate of water. So from that sample, 150 ml of water is percolating in 15 minutes. So we have to divide this amount of water, 150 ml, and the time, it is 15 minutes. So when we divide, the answer is 10 milliliter or 10 ml per minute. This is the rate of percolation rate of water of that soil sample. Okay. Then next is water retention capacity. Water retaining capacity of soil depends on two factors, that is the size of the particles present in it and the humus content. One can find out the amount of water absorbed by the soil very easily. That we'll see afterwards. Okay, so this is the one property of water retention, property of soil, that is water retention capacity, means how much water this soil, any type of soil, it can retain or it can hold. Okay, it is known as water retention capacity. See, when it is very heavy rainfall or during a very heavy rainfall, water can stay or stagnant above the soil, and this soil, if it is rich in clay and short of oxygen, then this condition of soil is known as water logging, and due to heavy rain and flood, the nutrients of soil they run off and makes the soil nutrient deficient. Means the nutrients they are get washed with the rainwater, and thus this is called the leaching of soil. Means the washing away of nutrients with the rainwater, or we can say flood water. This is known as water or soil leaching. Waterlogging means stagnant water, okay, and leaching means washing away of the nutrients from the soil. So these are the properties of soil. Then as I have told you before, that we will see one activity to find out the percentage of water absorbed by the soil. Okay, so for this activity you will need sample of soil. Okay, any soil you can take from garden also. Then you will need some water, then a beaker, one funnel, this is the funnel. Okay, then you will need the filter paper, it is here filter paper, and one measuring cylinder. Okay, then what will be the procedure? See, take a funnel and filtered paper, hold the filter paper and set it into the beaker. This is the beaker. Okay, and on this you have to set the funnel like this with this filter paper inside it. Okay, as shown in the figure. Now take 50 gram of soil and pour it into the funnel. Here you have to pour 50 gram of soil. Now take water in a measuring cylinder and pour it drop by drop on the soil. You have to take one measuring cylinder and fill it with water. Then you take water from that measuring cylinder and pour it with this dropper. Use the dropper and drop by drop you pour water on the soil. Then keep pouring water till it starts dripping. And then note down the amount of water left in the measuring cylinder. Whatever. To calculate the weight of water absorbed by the soil, we will use the formula U minus V, where U is the initial volume of water in measuring cylinder and V is the final volume of water in measuring cylinder. Okay, and the difference of these two will give the weight of water absorbed by the soil. It will be written in grams because 1 ml of water has weight equal to 1 gram. So we will write in grams. To find out the percentage of water absorbed by the soil, we will use the formula U minus V upon 50 into 100 for percentage. Okay, here U we know it is the initial volume of water absorbed, initial volume of water in the measuring cylinder. V is the final volume of water in the measuring cylinder, while 50 is the weight of water, that is 50 gram soil we have taken, or we can say it is the soil or the sample of the soil taken for this activity, and it is multiplied by 100. So we will get the percentage of water absorbed by soil. So this is very simple activity, you can also do at home. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment and share with your friends. Also subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get notification of my upcoming videos. Students, we will meet again in our next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.